Hi, it's Alaska Granny. I just flew back down to Arizona to have a little more time down in the desert sun during the winter months, and I made a stop at a Dollar Tree I hadn't ever seen before. So when I pulled in, I was a little alarmed because I saw some empty shelves, but then as I stepped around to another aisle, it was full of boxes. There were a lot of customers at the Dollar Tree. They still seem to be short-staffed, but you can see they are getting in some new supplies. They're trying to get the store stocked, and everything was still $1 at this Dollar Tree. Not everything you find at the Dollar Tree is a good buy or worth it. For example, this is the only cordage they had on this trip. I bought this one time, and it is terrible. Don't spend your money on this cord at the Dollar Tree. I've purchased other rope there that was much better quality, so just avoid this one and keep looking until you can find one that's a better quality. Maybe you've seen the aloe vera towelettes. Don't buy those either. They simply don't work. I bought them before. I tried them for sunburn. I tried them for bug bites, and they basically seem like they were just wet wipes. A great find is the 70% alcohol. I saw this at another Dollar Tree recently, and this is a great buy. They used to only ever have 50% alcohol. And if you want to make your own hand sanitizer or an alcohol stove, you need something stronger. And so the 70% is perfect. So if you can pick up a few of these, add them to your stockpile. They'll be great not only for your first aid, but you can use them to sanitize. You can also use them to cook in an emergency situation. Dollar Tree usually has 1-gallon jugs of drinking water, but I didn't see any gallons this time, but I did see the multi-packs. Still a good deal to pick up a 6-pack, and you'll have some grab-and-go drinking water in an emergency. Sometimes we just want a bottle to drink from, and we don't want the 1-gallon, which are handy if you're staying at home, but if you're not, having the grab-and-go bottles is a good idea. I'm not sure if Dollar Tree stocked these before, but they had some Nestle Splash flavored waters. The first variety was acai grape, and you can see these are in 6-packs. Well, then I noticed they had wild berry, but that's only a 4-pack. And they also had lemon in a 4-pack. So I'm not sure if all of the flavors used to be in a 6-pack and now they're becoming a 4-pack. If you're a coffee drinker and you're looking for some instant coffee in little single-serve pouches, check out the Taster's Choice. Single-serve packets of coffee would be great for your bug-out bag, for your camping gear, and even just in an emergency if you just want to grab one quick cup of coffee. These are pretty tasty. Dollar Tree had C&H Pure Cane Sugar Golden Brown 1-pound packages, and these are non-GMO. If you can get cane sugar rather than sugar beet sugar, that is something you should try to pick up because all of the sugar beets have been genetically modified. So if you're looking at getting fresher, more natural, then you might want to choose the pure cane sugar. This Dollar Tree also had 1-pound bags of white sugar, and you can see white sugar, because it's dry, it's far more compact than you can see the brown sugar, which is moist. And so you want to make sure that you keep white sugar dry and you keep the brown sugar moist. So both of them need to be kept in an airtight container. Betty Crocker mixes can be really nice to have on hand because a lot of them you only have to add water. But you can see they did have them, but they're all gone now. Keep your eye out for some of the Betty Crocker pouches. They're a sturdy package. They can last a long time in your pantry, and they have varieties of muffins and things like that that you only have to add water. This Dollar Tree store had a lot of spices. I was glad to see the variety, and something I hadn't ever really noticed before, I don't know if that's new, is they had the labels along on the shelf. I hadn't really noticed them ever labeling on the shelf before. It was also nice to see the bags of pink Himalayan salt. This Dollar Tree had a great supply of beans, rice, lentils, even brown rice. They also had tortillas, the pizza crust. They even had small bags of pecans. One of the things they do in the Southwest, when you shop in the stores, they actually are still using plastic bags. They don't do that everywhere anymore, but it's nice when you can get them. But then you end up with piles and piles of plastic bags. Well, one of the things that I do is take an empty Kleenex box and I just stuff them all in. I think I've put dozens and dozens of bags in these boxes before. You can just stuff them in as tight as you want, and then whenever you want a bag, you can just pull one out. But if you're going to put this away with your storage, make sure you label bags so that somebody doesn't reach for it and think they have a nice box of Kleenex. You don't want anyone to be disappointed in an emergency situation. What did I buy at the Dollar Tree? Well, first I went to the pet aisle. I needed to get some extra supplies for my little dog, Teddy. I bought a bag of chicken and brown rice dog food. This is a nice sturdy pouch. It has a year's shelf life on it, and I'm going to put it in with my emergency supplies. I have a bin I've been adding to have extra supplies for my dog. I also bought him a little squeak toy. When I came home from the Dollar Tree, I put the bags down while I was unloading the car, and he immediately dragged this out of the bag and was running around and playing with it before he even got a chance to show you.
Teddy, did you find your toy? You weren't supposed to get that yet. Are you removing the label?
Another item I found is Quick Survive fire starters. There's 3 instant fire starters in here. This would be perfect for your get home bag, for your bug out bag, for your camping gear, and even when you're trying to light your fire pit outside or you're struggling with your fireplace inside in a power outage situation. These have a 30-year shelf life. They're 100% waterproof. They're food safe. They burn for 10 minutes at 750 degrees. This is going to be a great item to have in your prepping supplies. So if you can find these, pick up a few of them. One of the challenges I've had lately is trying to find disposable bowls. I recently did get some at Big Lots, but then I found these packs of 10 plastic bowls in with the party supplies. These are sturdy. They're only 10 cents each at 10 for $1. And then in an emergency, say you don't have power or you don't have running water and you need to quickly get something to eat and you maybe can't wash the dishes afterwards, one of these plastic disposable bowls could be a lifesaver. And because they're plastic, you could also wash them out and reuse them, say if you wanted to go camping. Look for items that can be useful to you while you're trying to prepare meals in any situation. Next, I bought some food items. I picked up a box of stuffing mix because this is great if you have leftover turkey in your freezer. I like to make stuffing mix. I add dried cranberries, chopped up apples, some onion. You can add a can of chicken, a can of turkey. You can make a nice little casserole or a meal with an extra box of stuffing mix. New to me was this veggie bowl. I bought something like this a year ago that was really delicious. It was a little bit different, but I like the concept of you have this stacked 2 items that you just tear them open and then you can just eat them. This is quinoa and riced cauliflower with garlic and herb. So then it says it has cauliflower, carrots, corn, green beans, quinoa, garlic, and herb sauce. So it has 1 full serving of vegetables in each container. There's no artificial preservatives or flavors. It's all ready to eat, and so this would be good to throw in your lunchbox to have for quick grab-and-go meals. You can read on the label that it has 200 calories and it's a vegetarian option that actually has 5 grams of protein. So there's about 6 months of shelf life on this little container. This is the type of food I would not try to store longer simply because it's like fresh food that's already prepared, yet it's been packaged to last for a few months rather than a few days. But trying to store it out for a long, long time is probably not a good idea. It's likely because there's so many different ingredients, one of them would spoil, or the package would start to deteriorate, or you might get a pinhole in the plastic top. I found some more Loma Linda products, and these are a wonderful buy at only $1. These are vegetarian options of plant-based foods, and Loma Linda is a very top quality company. I've done a few videos about Loma Linda products before, and they're all very top quality. There's a Greek bowl with chickpeas, olive oil, and brown rice. It has 380 calories, 12 grams of protein. You can zap it in the microwave, but because it's already cooked, you could just eat it as is. You could also cook some rice, add it with that, and you could have a more filling meal. The other one is a Hawaiian bowl with pineapple and brown rice. This one has 360 calories, 13 grams of protein. These are non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and have a year's shelf life on them. These would be perfect to put into your bug-out bag, your get-home bag. You can put them in your pantry, line them up, and you can grab a meal if you need to. One of the things you could do if you got several of these is you could just line them up on the shelf like books and then put them in the date order that they're going to expire, and you could just work across your pile, work from left to right, just like when you're reading. Pull one off and eat it, push the rest over. Pull one out and eat it, push the rest over. And you could have a variety of foods that are going to last quite a while. I picked up a jar of minced garlic. It's nice sometimes to have the more fresh garlic than just the dried garlic, and I've enjoyed using this product before, so it was time to get another jar. Quinoa is a great long-lasting grain that you can add in your prepper pantry, and quinoa can be pretty expensive. So if you think that this package is pretty small for $1, if you go to the regular grocery store, yes, you'll get a bigger package, but it's usually about $4. So this is a nice way to get some top quality quinoa. The 6 ounces of quinoa is 4 servings. You cook quinoa a lot like rice. Bring water to a boil, add the quinoa, and let it simmer for 14, 16 minutes. And then you have a nice fluffy grain that you can serve and add to all kinds of different recipes and things. I found another pack of the Hungry Jack hash browns, and these are really great. They're dehydrated potatoes. They can last nearly forever. But because they come in just a cardboard package, it's much better. They're going to last a lot longer if you pour them into a jar. Same with the quinoa. I'm going to put the potatoes in a jar and seal it up. I'm also going to start storing the quinoa in a jar because it's going to last a lot longer that way. Then if you have an oxygen absorber, you could add that if you want to keep it for a long time. You could use your Food Saver vacuum sealer to seal them up, but just putting on the lid and keeping them airtight in a cool, dark, dry place can make these last for many years anyway. Something new I bought to try are tri-color tortilla strips. I have some of the Bear Creek soup mixes, and I thought this one would be great over the taco soup or maybe even with the chili. There's so many ways you can make taco soups out of the foods in your prepper pantry that this might be something you want to add to your stockpile. I found actual French's mustard, which is very top quality. They also had some golden brown mustard, but it was going to expire in just a few days, and so I didn't choose that for my pantry. You want to always be looking at the dates because you want to be buying fresh food that you're adding to your stockpile that goes in the back of the shelf so that you are rotating out the foods you already have. And if the foods you're buying now aren't going to last longer than the foods that you're rotating, then you're not really adding to your stockpile and making your prepper pantry grow if you have to eat all that food immediately. You want foods that can last for several years if possible. Something I don't usually buy are the little cheese pouches for Velveeta, and the reason that I did buy this one was I was reading about the rations that the military used to give out long before they had MREs. They used to give a tin of meat, a package of cheese, some crackers, and a few other little items. And so I thought I'm going to try putting a few of those together with some of this cheese because it's hard to find cheese that can last in a package for a while that doesn't need to be refrigerated. So this was going to be one of the options that I want to put together some of those. I'm going to make my own like DIY MREs. These are the items that I chose to buy at the Dollar Tree to add to my prepper stockpile. Make sure that you're adding a variety of things. Don't just get food, also look for some supplies. And remember, if you have pets or small children, to get things that they would need too. If there's products that you recommend we look for or other products that you think we should avoid, leave it in the comments below so we can all learn from each other. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.